I fucking forgot what I was supposed to say, and I'm recording now. So that's pretty good. All right.
This is it.
Are now
I wanted to say "What's up, hot dogs," but I think that's already stolen.
What's a crack-a-laggin?
Oh yeah, what was it? Fuck.
Porkers?
Oh yeah. All right.
Porkers.
Something about porkers.
All right. Now I feel solid. That's my rock there. This is weird. All right. What's cracklin' porkers, and welcome to Just Guy Things, the world's first and foremost fan cast for diners, drive-ins, and dives, hosted, of course, by the author of the Gastronomicon himself, Guy Fieri. And joining me, as always, as first time ever, Jennifer Sheffield. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not nervous at all. David Corsi, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I showed up.
That's all I can ask. That's all I can ask. So, this is our first podcast. Just Guy Things is the world's first and foremost fan cast for diners, drive-ins, and dives. We have made a pact. No one has forced us to do this. I'm letting you guys out right now. If anybody objections...
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop, David?
I mean, I agreed to it, and I do everything I agree to, which is why my life is in shambles. So, yeah, I'm in.
Dude, me too.
All right, well then, this is the first meeting of the Midnight Snack Society. A little Goosebumps reference for you guys.
The hairiest adventure.
Our hairiest adventure yet. So, we will watch every episode from seasons 1 to seasons 14, because that was the only seasons I could find on the internet. Not gonna say that I torrented it, but...
Stop.
They'll know. So, we started with season 1, of course, episode 1. And
really the genesis of all this.
The genesis, and in fact, the episode was called...
Classics.
The Classics, for no reason, it seems like?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Because the first place was, The first place was, what did he say? A funky little roadside eatery.
Yeah, funky little joint.
Oh, sorry. It was a roadside eatery called Mac and Ernie's Roadside Eatery. That's why I got it confused.
At one point, it cuts to a person just going, I think it's a shack. Like, they weren't even sure, and it was right next to them.
You know who that was? That was the owner and chef. He was asking her what it was, and she was like, I think it's Shack.
Naylene.
Pretty sure. Yes, Naylene.
I'm Naylene's biggest fan.
Naylene reminds me of, like, a middle school PE teacher who, like, everyone had an assumption that she was aggressively lesbian, and then you were shocked that she had a husband and, like, kids, because middle school kids are evil and terrible little children. So, oh, this is great. So I started,
Wait, did everyone think that you were a lesbian PE teacher when you were in middle school? Is
yes,
that where this is coming from?
I had the deep voice, but I also had a feminine face. So, I did some show notes because, I downloaded this and I watched it, I think 3.5 times now, because Jennifer and I did a refresher right before this thing, and I watched it once to ensure quality, and then twice just for shits and giggles.
I probably should have watched it more than 1.5, because my notes just read like an insane person watching any show on the Food Network. I just wrote McMutton in really big letters. And I don't know.
She was gonna get sued if she used that.
She was terrified of getting sued by McDonald's so much that she didn't even invoke their name like it was some sort of Voldemortian curse.
It's like when people talk about the Illuminati in YouTube videos, but they're like...
I'm not gonna say who.
Triangles.
You know who I'm talking about. So I broke mine up into little segments. So I've got my first dive, and I've got fashions, and I've got location, and I've got owner, and then food. So I'm going to go down from there. So first off, I think, Jennifer, you're not so big into the Triple D lifestyle.
No.
So she was confused as to why he rolled up in his, what is it, like an SS of some sort?
fucking some
Camaro. I think it's a Camaro.
It's either red or yellow. I don't remember.
It's a red Camaro, and he's
the guy,
just like
the guy mobile.
the guy. Yeah, the guy truck. So he's wearing silver framed, amber lensed dollar store sunglasses. They might be expensive, but on him they look super cheap.
And they're like wraparound.
Yeah, they're wraparound. They're like straight up 90s style. I'm really into real big fish chrome sunglasses. And then he's got like gnarly roots in this one. I think he went for a more bleached look.
He has
last.
frosted tips,
But that's
they're
more.
not roots.
It's more frost than tips, though. To be honest with you, those tips are super frosty. They're sopping in frost. And then he has like a natural color beard, which I feel is like a strong choice for him. And he doesn't even have like that goat streak that he now has, or not goat streak, a skunk streak. He has like a skunk streak on the bottom of his chin.
When he just like shaves out the middle.
No, I think he frosts that too.
Oh,
I think he's all frost. He's Mr. Frost. And then the location, it's a funky little roadside eatery in Tarpley, Texas. Mac and Arnie's.
Yep.
And he said
Got a classic parking lot dining room.
Yeah, it's behind the general store where there are 50 people from sign to sign, as they say, because, you know, Guy Fieri is a man of the people.
Also, when he's saying that, he has the world's tiniest little eyes.
How could you see behind those dope-ass shades?
He's like staring right into the sun.
Well, then, or a necessity rather than a fashion choice. And the shack is owned by Naylene Dunningham. And what was weird about the shack was he was like, "What do you do when it rains?" And she just like looks up and she's like, "Dude, Guy, I talk a little louder because there's a roof." And then he goes, what does he say?
The tin roof is kind of clicky.
And she just turns away from him in disgust and starts cooking. Because she's like, the thing about diners, drive-ins, and dives is I'm pretty sure that, like, they know that he's coming. But, like, they still have to work. Because the restaurant is, like, popping at that point. Because they know that Guy Fieri is going to be there. Granted, you know, he doesn't have as much staying power. Or he didn't have as much, like, star power.
For the first episode.
Season 1, Ep 1. Although he had, like, what? Guy's Big Bite? Before.
No idea.
I'm asking the wrong person.
We should have read into the history maybe a little bit more. Didn't he like win a TV show? Isn't that his whole thing? Wasn't he like the next Food Network star? Didn't he win that?
What?
Is that why like the Food Network owes him everything? Because like he's on season 28 of Triple D,
Ugh.
and he's got Grocery Games, and he's got like something else probably.
All I know is Johnny Garlic's is in our hometown.
Our hometown, yeah. We made Guy Fieri.
Blame those
Sorry.
Windsorians.
Sorry about that. So the food was... well, hold on. The food was a cabrito burger. That was like their big thing. And cabrito, for those of you who don't speak Spanish, means goat. Yes, goat.
Oh!
Yeah, and she claimed that white people wouldn't like goat burgers. Well, no, she said...
What?
She,
When did
well,
she
she was
say
just like...
that?
She was like, because it doesn't have the same sort of ring to it. And so she just called it a cabrito burger.
Oh, they wouldn't want to eat something called a goat burger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Oh.
goats are adorable.
Maybe I turned it racist when I shouldn't have been.
Like you always do.
Like I always do. I always pull out that race card. The Connolly race card. And she apparently owns, like, a ranch with other people, and she raises goats. And the reason that she started the restaurant was because she was just, like, I don't know, knee-deep in goats. And,
I just,
needed to
really want to eat these goats.
she needed
really
to get rid of
pissing
them.
me off.
She had,
Just
like...
an overload of goats, and she
Yeah.
was like, cabrito.
Yeah, Woot.com didn't exist yet, so she couldn't do like a fire sale of all of her goats. So she just had to create a restaurant. she made another thing. So her thing was like kind of rustic cooking,
You're talking
but
about
like
the lamb chops?
yeah, I was talking about the ancho chili quail.
Oh, I've missed that completely.
Well, the thing that I loved about the ancho chili quail, and you know, whatever, it's like a bird with barbecue sauce on it, basically. But what Guy says about eating it, he's eating a whole quail, right? And then he says, it's like a little pretend meal. And you're eating an entire bird, Guy. Can you not be sated? And meanwhile, while he's eating all of those little birds, she's got those pork chop, the chicken fried pork chop things.
Lamb chops.
Lamb chops, sorry.
Chicken fried lamb chops.
She's got chicken fried lamb chops, and he's just back there scarfing them in between takes, like just mowing down on them.
Didn't he eat 8 of them?
He said that he ate 8 of them after she had said that it had been so busy and that they were selling out of it so much that one of the customers complained that the other got the last 2 orders and then tried to scalp them off of the customer that got those lamb chops. And meanwhile, he's just like, man, these are really good.
I love the idea of viewers like showing up and being like, oh, I'm here to be at a place that Guy Fieri is visiting. Like, this is so awesome. And then finding out afterwards, like, oh, he ate the food that you were going to eat. So sorry. You showed up for him and he ate 8 of the thing that you wanted 1 of.
Sorry, Guy Hurricane came in and he fucking swept the place. All we've got are salads. Anything that's green, he has not touched. And then, what is it? Oh yeah, speaking of Guy just being a total asshole, and I'm trying so hard not to be mean about him. I'm like trying to be unbiased about it, but it's like really hard to not be a total jerk about him. But there was this thing where she said she had secret ingredients to like 2 of her meals, right? And so he's like, I want to make a burger. And she was like, no, I can't let you make the burger. I've got secret ingredients that I don't want to share with you. And then he just like starts inspecting the patty like Sherlock Holmes, going like, I see a little parsley in there, a little garlic. And, oh, what's this up on the top of the fridge? And then she's like, oh, that was for the pork chops, or lamb chop, the chicken fried lamb chops. And she's like, that's my secret ingredient. And then he was like, can I see it? And then you could see her kind of go like, yeah. And he like sticks his finger in it and he's like, turbinado sugar. And she was like, very good.
Totally ruins it.
Good job, you asshole. Yeah. He also... there was another thing that he was a total jerk about. So these guys were talking about, like, how good the pies were. And, like, how you had to lock down the pie or whatever. Because they've only got, like, 2 picnic tables. It's, like, a small restaurant. They only open from 5 to, like, 8 on Fridays through Sundays or something like that.
Yeah, they have small hours.
Yeah, and they were talking about, like, how the pies sell out. So you have to call and reserve a slice. And the motherfucker takes a large bite out of one first. And then starts walking away with the pie. And the table starts yelling at him to come back.
He tries to steal the pie.
He tries to steal the pie. A customer's pie who paid for it. It's not like he's like, I'm paying for the entire restaurant's bill. He's just taking bites out of other people's food. And I think that's a recurring segment.
Yeah. Also, he's a jerk to staff.
Yeah?
He asks that one waitress, if she knows where she's going.
Yeah,
while running after her.
There are only 2 picnic tables, Guy.
You know where you're going.
Like my dog, it's under the oak tree. There's nothing in this town. I don't think I'll get lost. And then that's all I had for episode 1, or not episode 1, but segment 1, dive 1, Mac and Ernie's. Does the Midnight Snack Society have anything to add to dive 1, Mac and Ernie's?
Oh, well, I just never had seen the show before, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And just in the introduction, he does this little finger waggle, which I found pretty charming. So I hope to see that.
Charming? You were charmed?
Yeah, his little point.
So he points directly at you and yells
And
about eating up this joint.
Panties drop.
Oh, God.
You don't become the face of the Food Network without a little bit of finger waggling.
A little bit of magic. A little bit of magic in them fingers.
Without sticking your fingers in some pies. And taking them with you.
Oh, God. David.
He does like to stick his finger in things that make noise.
Oh, spoilers.
Ah!
Great segue. So, the second dive, we have to start with the fashions, like, immediately. Because he starts out with a fierce black and yellow leather jacket that has 2 patches on the sleeves, and I'm pretty sure we did like some forensics.
Yeah, we
I zoomed in.
We enhanced.
There was enhancing. There was typing on a keyboard, and they're for both of his restaurants. So he's got Tex Wasabi's, which is a Tex-Mex / sushi restaurant, and then Johnny Garlic's, which is just the thing is we put garlic on everything.
Yeah.
And he has.
Both of those restaurant names sound like the names of like really shitty villains in some awful movie. Like Tex Wasabi and Johnny Garlic team up.
Are back at it again against Buckaroo Banzai. The space battle of Tex Wasabi. Yeah, Nathan Fillion probably would try out for a character called Tex Wasabi. He's not doing anything right now, right?
Yeah.
Little cowboy hat.
So he also has a dad button up, like another I'm super into third wave ska shirt. No sunglasses this time because it's the morning, and he's got a sweatband and a pinky ring, which I am unsure what it says. But we'll find out once we get into HD, and Lord permitting, he continues to wear that pinky ring. We'll figure it out. So the location is in Wichita, Kansas, located in a business park with a bakery outlet and an auto parts store. You know, like a working class neighborhood, and Guy Fieri is acting like it's like a terrible, weird thing that happens. Like, it's a business center, dude. There's gonna be businesses there that don't match. It's called Brent's Diner, and the owner wanted to own a diner for like
Jesse
ever.
Medina.
Jesse Medina. His thing that, like, his 3 things that he does are like he blends eggs in a milkshake machine. Like that's his one trick. Also, he puts ice on eggs when he's frying them.
No, to steam them.
Okay, steam them, and he can flip a non-stick pan, which is not throwing any shade. Pretty easy. He works there with his fiancée.
I thought they got married.
Oh, they're married now.
I don't know.
Good for Jesse.
Sandy Salmons.
Ooh,
She worked there for 2 weeks, and then he wifed her up.
I can't imagine her with another name. I think, like, the reason, like, Sandy Salmons, she shouldn't take Medina as his name. That would be terrible.
Sandy Medina sounds like a problem.
It sounds like a drink.
I've got the Sandy Medina.
A disease or a drink, a funky cold Medina or a Sandy Salmons.
Well, I mean, Sandy Salmons doesn't sound very delectable either.
Yeah, you're right. So, she's a cook now, right? She's like a cook / waitress with her...
She's moral support.
She was cooking? She was doing...
She did that... Oh, sorry.
She said she didn't know how to cook at all, like, before he wifed her up, and then he was like, hey, this is how you make eggs.
He was like, hey, start pulling some weight, because you're fucking terrible as a waitress.
I was gonna fire you, but...
I married you, so now I gotta find something for you to do. Yeah, those daughters had some looks.
Uh-huh.
Like,
the barrette in the bangs.
Yeah, it's like
in the front of the bangs.
But she also had like a no bang look too. It was kind of like a weird transition between bangs and no bangs and like really heavy early 2000s eye makeup.
Yeah, eyeliner all around the whole eye.
like a nature's little bandit.
Yeah,
like a raccoon.
Like upper, like waterline, upper and lower. Like lower lash line, not even waterline, like everywhere.
Yeah. She probably was like a Wichita 10, though, to be honest. She was like 15 with a job and new makeup.
Matt. You're so gross.
I like to alienate all early fans.
All 15-year-olds from Wichita.
Get at me? Because that sounds like a really endorsed 15-year-olds from...
calling all 15-year-olds from Wichita.
Yeah.
Heavy eyeliner.
Yeah, get at me. I like that look. So the locale split between lawyers with suits and boots to like working class types, and like the cast of Bob's Burgers. Like there was this one guy that was very uncomfortable being on the camera, and the waitress just like dragged him into it, and she was like, Sandy Salmons. She was like, he's been here for 35 years.
He said he'd been going there for like 40 years.
40 years?
I feel like
there was one guy that said
forever.
he was there for 35 years, and then there was another that was 15. One of them talked, and one of them didn't. So maybe I'm conflating the two, but there was one guy who was just like, dude, please, no, I'm embarrassed. And then there was another guy that just had no camera presence at all. And
it's like everyone on Triple D's.
Yeah, he threw some real shade at Brent.
Dude,
by the way. He was like, I haven't... Because Jesse had been there for like 3 years.
He finally got to take over Brent's 3 years before the episode was shot.
Yeah, and the dude was like, been to Brent's Diner for 35 years. Never been better. So, throwing some real shade at Brent.
Poor Brent.
At least he got to keep the naming rights. Actually, I have the note. Charlie, my spirit animal, a frequent customer for 15 years, who had no clue there was going to be a TV show shot and was very uncomfortable in front of the camera. Yeah.
I totally misheard it and thought it was 50 years, and I'm like, how is that possible?
He's a ghost. That man is a poltergeist of Brent's Diner.
He's been haunting that milkshake machine.
That was Brent. That's why they couldn't get the naming rights. That's why it's not Jesse's Diner, because he was too afraid of the poltergeist thing that would happen. Like the milkshake machine would turn on
over the lettering and doesn't let people take him down.
Yeah, he'd throw away nonstick pans, and Jesse's like, "No, that's my secret."
Melt all the ice cubes.
Melt all of the ice cubes. Not a single ice cube would be found. There were some characters in there. And I can't...
Vanessa Bayer.
Vanessa Bayer was working on some early character work. So there was this one lady who was like, who had like the big dimples and like the large teeth, and she bought like a scramble, like an egg scramble. That she said literally, usually this comes mixed all up. And so I told him to separate every ingredient. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You monster! That was terrible. Like, if somebody walked into my restaurant, I don't care if I give, like, 5 inspirational speeches while Guy Fieri is at my restaurant saying how, like, service is number one and you have to do it with passion and all that bullshit. If somebody asked me to make a scramble deconstructed, I would spit on their face and tell them to leave.
And you worked in the food industry.
I worked in the food industry, but nobody will know where I worked.
Like if someone just shows up to IHOP and is like, "Can I just get like the flour, water, and eggs necessary to make a pancake?"
Could you
but
get me
don't do it. I just want to leave with just that. That's fine.
I mean, morally, there should be nothing wrong with that, but no. You come here, you get the food that's on the menu. I'm like, this isn't a grocery store. Yeah, let me give you a basket for you to put the eggs in, too. I'm just not even going to crack them. I'm going to give you a sterno burner, and you get to do it like teppanyaki style on your lunch table in Wichita, Kansas.
Do you think she had a nickname like everyone else?
There were nicknames.
There were some good ones, yeah.
One was called, like, NASCAR?
Yeah, NASCAR.
Now, I couldn't figure out, was NASCAR in reference to one man, or was it, like, a couple, or, like, an entire family? I couldn't, like... They were like, this is NASCAR, and it was, like, a table of people, and I was like, who is NASCAR?
They're, like, a collective, like the Borg. Prepare to be assimilated to NASCAR table. Yeah, I think it might have been like a table name because there was... Okay, hold on. I might have notes. Sandy and Larry have their own coffee pot. That's NASCAR. They're named NASCAR because they're the biggest NASCAR fans in Wichita, Kansas.
That's a lie.
Which seems like an aggressive market to be the biggest fan of NASCAR in. Like, there's a lot of competition. Also, they're chain smokers, because apparently that's a restaurant that you can smoke in still, which is like, I don't know how it is over in your state.
It was 2007.
But still, California, like, we haven't had smoking in restaurants since, like...
Forever.
The 80s.
Yeah, in all of my life, Maryland has not allowed such horrible things to happen.
I was worried that, like, they're so relaxed with, like, their regulars that they just kind of let NASCAR slide and smoke in the restaurant. They have their own ashtray.
Just let NASCAR break the law. Who cares what they do?
NASCAR is going to be NASCAR. It was founded by rebels, rum runners. Those people, bootleggers, so of course they're going to be flippant with the law. But there were a bunch of nicknames like that. There was Hamburger Jim, Blues Jim,
yeah,
and Bicycle Jim.
Hold on, we have to analyze why are these gyms named that? Hamburger Jim, does he only order a hamburger? And if so... Who cares? I mean, I feel like lots of people only order a hamburger in our regulars.
At a diner. Maybe it's the frequency of which that's, like, scary to them, so they just call him, like, Hamburger Jim, like, to, you know, kind of throw some shade at him, like,
He gets, like, 7 hamburgers a day, and they're like, all right, Hamburger Jim, chill
You're
out.
700 pounds, Hamburger Jim. Please, we should be calling you Fat Jim, but that seems mean. You have a problem. Now, if he could get with Bicycle Jim and they could be trainers, to like they could be like workout
bicycle buddies.
Yeah, Bicycle Jim has too little weight because he's always exercising. He's training for centuries on centuries. You know, the 100-mile bicycle races. He's doing that, and he needs to gain weight and protein, and like he realizes that Hamburger Jim... I'm making, like, a little friendship thing here. This is my own slash fic.
What's the other one? Blues Jim?
Blues Jim is just a cool guy.
Is he friends, or is he just, like, outside on the corner?
Blues Jim is a fucking rebel. He has no friends.
They call him Blues Jim because he has the blues. He's alone. He's an outcast, yeah.
His baby left him.
Blues Jim was that guy eating at the corner for 15 years.
Eaten at the corner?
At the corner of the counter.
Oh, maybe, but...
No, I don't know.
He's more of like a ghost, though. We said that he's Brent, unless his name is like Jim Brent, which is a terrible name. Or Brent Jim, for the love of God. Also, Brent.
Is Brent a first name?
I hope it's a last name, because I would hate to have to call somebody Brent. Because it just feels like I'm saying Brett, but very nasally. Brent.
Ew.
Brent. Blues Jim is a fucking rebel, and he's tied down to no other Jim. Then Guy Fieri, once learning about these nicknames, says something that is the unfunniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life, and I'm not sure. Does anybody have that quote?
I do.
Okay.
Would you like to perform it?
Oh, I have to read your handwriting.
Okay. I can do it.
I need a BLT on Snagglepuss and Bicycle Table with WWE?
No. I'll do it.
All right, we'll cut that part.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Need a B-17 on Snagglepuss and bicycle table with the WW and a BF and a JK over there on stat.
And then he says something that's legitimately... That's used in every single, like, interstitial before... Yeah, the previews, the bumps, before they showed that segment. So they kept saying that terrible, terrible sentence. And then he says something that's, like, actually kind of funny.
So much funnier.
It was super charming. He said, and, like, Jesse's over there, and he's, like, making lasagna and ice cream, and he's got it on the grill. And it was so much cuter.
Yeah, it was way overlooked. And this whole Snagglepuss and bicycle table on stat was overhyped, to say the least.
Yeah, I like those deep cut Guy Fieri jokes. Does anybody want to do the third dive? I feel like I've been talking, like, too much. I've been, like, owning it.
You're the meat of this sandwich.
That feels like a fat joke. So I'm going to let you go while I lick my wounds over here.
Ew. Lick your meat wounds.
Oh,
wait.
Yeah? Do we still have some nugs?
I forgot. There was like a stuffed Tigger doll on like the food shelf.
Oh my god.
Diner.
There was a stuffed Tigger doll on a food shelf that has a heat lamp. I'm like, how lax are Wichita, Kansas's rules about food prep where you're allowed to have a stuffed fabric doll under a heat lamp where food is?
I mean, they let NASCAR get away with fucking anything, so
do you think he can only eat with a Tigger doll just in his vicinity, like he knows?
We breezed over the most important part of this diner.
Oh my god. I think I know what you're talking about. Is it the milkshake machine?
Yeah, so this guy, Jesse Medina.
Oh,
is that his name? Yeah. He, his thing is making the scrambled eggs with the milkshake machine.
He also makes like 40 different milkshakes, and I hope to fucking God that not all of them are just like chocolate and egg, and vanilla and egg, and strawberry cookies and cream and egg. Because I just hope that he has a second egg beater, right? Please, I need this for my fic, too. Okay, continue.
So, Guy, when this is happening, says, when something's making noise, I always want to stick my finger in it.
You're charmed by those fingers, by the way.
His point.
You make noises. You think he wants to stick his fingers in you? Yeah. You're just charmed by those terrible, terrible fingers. There's going to be allegations in like 20 years where people are going to come out from the woodwork and go like, Guy Fieri fingered me.
Not only cakes and pies.
He didn't only finger cakes and pies.
Not only milkshake machines.
But he fingered my milkshakes and my cakes and pie.
Yeah, exactly.
Sexually.
Like, exclusively fingering. Like, he fingered Hamburger Jim. He fingered Blues Jim. He fingered all of NASCAR.
Brent's Ghost.
Bicycle Jim.
Yeah, it was...
and let's not forget his double backflip.
Oh my god. So, I'm a skate boy. I'm a skater boy. And he pulls off what he calls a double backflip. It doesn't even make a single flip. It just kind of does like a fakey rotation sort of thing. So it looks like it's going to go backwards, but then it flips frontwards because he's so shit at it. And then it lands. And then he forces, I'm sure that a production person was like, okay, yeah, we got it on. Yeah, that's fine. And he was like, no, bro. I need an instant replay of that. I need people to see it again. And so they do it, and then he says, I'll be here all week. To which Jesse fucking throws down the gauntlet and goes, no, you won't. Which I feel like was some pretty good shade.
Guy was very, very excited.
So proud of it. So proud that he probably told an intern to tell the production team to make an instant replay of that. And he probably like ran over to a monitor and was like, oh my god, I'm the greatest. Oh, speaking of egg flipping, he does the worst Frank Sinatra impression that I have ever heard in my entire life, because Jesse is like doing some shit in the background, and he's like, oh, you use a nonstick pan, and he's like, yeah, it's easy to flip, and then he flips it, and guy makes him stop, and he's like, that was so cool, you were like Frank Sinatra, and then he just goes like, Jesse is forced to do the most awkward laugh I've ever seen on camera. And speaking of, Jesse did not stop making constant eye contact with that lens. Like, he was glued. He heard that you were not supposed to look down that barrel and was totally locked. He's like, I'm not supposed to look at that. I'm looking at it. I'm still looking at it. I'm still looking at it. Oh God. It was great. I fucking loved how awkward these people were. Real salt of the earth. Do you think we milked all that nug from
Brent's was pretty good.
Brent's was good because everybody looked terrifying, and I didn't think that people could look more terrifying until we went to the Mad Greek in Baker, California, because it seemed as if it was just like a Unabomber enthusiast / trucker convention, because that's every single patron that was there. That and like one sweet little cat lady.
Yeah, one cute woman.
One cute woman, and then just ogres.
It was a super terrifying nightmare, and like every one of those ogres was trying to convince me it wasn't. They're like, this is the best place. I love it. I love it. It's, you have to come out into the desert and come here.
I'm pretty sure those heroes were people. Like, those were the outsiders that they lured into the Mad Greek.
That poor little cat lady.
That poor little cat lady. The secret is, if you order these zucchini sticks, they know you're an outsider, and then they throw you on the meat pile.
Marinate it first, though.
Yeah, so that place was absolutely terrifying. It gave me a panic attack just at the decor. So the outside was like 14 statues, like in marble columns. Like, there was an SNL skit where they were just talking about how, like, they were just doing an infomercial for marble columns to, like, show how fancy you were.
He actually ordered from it.
He ordered from it. Like, he was a precog. He was like, I know that skit's gonna be there. It's gonna be funny. In 10 years, I'm gonna get these now. So he's got marble columns. He's got like 14 naked chicks outside. Well, not actual naked chicks. They're statues. It's art. It's art. It's not creepy if it's statues or paintings.
Except that he says, when he's describing the decor, we have naked ladies and in statues.
Okay, so English wasn't his first language. And I'm not sure it's his second either. I don't think he has, like, a full understanding of it. But he was a great, great man. I think his name was Michael Dubois? Dubier? I'm not
Michael DeBoer?
Michael DeBoer. And the restaurant is in Baker, California. But first, I want to make sure that we touch upon the fashions, because I've got a bullet point list. And I don't want to stray away from him. And
of just Guy, or of everyone?
Just Guy. Because Guy's fashion... He's a tastemaker, literally and figuratively. Like, his clothes are on point. His food is on point. His shit's rad. So, he's wearing these third wave ska fan shirt. Again, cargo shorts. Khaki cargos, I think. Same chrome and red lens glasses that he was wearing in the roadside eatery. And he has these white, chunky skate shoes that make him look like he's wearing toddler shoes. And also, there's like, you know Garth's car when they're like singing Bohemian Rhapsody in
Wayne's World?
Wayne's World. He's got like that Red Vine dispenser, that Twizzler dispenser. I'm pretty sure he stole his laces from that prop department, because they're the same fucking thing. Those laces look so delicious, and I want them for my shoes.
They looked real weird.
They kept panning down to him. Like, his cinematographer was, like, probably the originator of that Vine thing, where they're just like, what are those? Because they kept zooming in on them. They were so good. So then, Michael Dubois. So his intro to the restaurant was, "It seems a little junky, but people like that."
Yep.
Which makes me think, like, he might not have English down, but he has America pretty fucking down. Like, he's got it. Then he also says, like, this guy is just full of kind of what I think might be racist, but I'm not full on, like, Greek things, and also it's a Greek dude. But he said, when he was asked about the pronunciation of gyros, he was like, is it gyro or gyro? I say, give me my $5. I make whatever you want to call it.
Seems like a deal.
Seems like a deal.
Also, definitely raised the prices up from $5 based on the Yelp reviews.
Oh, right. We've got the Yelp reviews left. Oh, so good. Have we skipped over the Yelp reviews?
No, I thought we were doing it at the
Okay.
end.
All right. So that guy, Michael Dubois, does nothing anymore except harass customers, it seems like, and raise prices because his son, Larry, who is just like a tinier, sadder version of James Gandolfini, if that's even possible, is doing all of the work. He's like prematurely working himself to death. And he's also the nicest, most soft-spoken guy ever, because Guy Fieri is pushing him constantly.
This is really, I think, his like time to shine in the kitchen. He was clowning about real hard.
He was doing a lot of goofs and gaffs. There were a whole lot of goofers that were happening. So he was the one thing that he was doing that really seemed like it was going to make James Gandolfini turn into like the murdering James Gandolfini of The Sopranos was he kept calling spanakopita egg rolls. He said they were like spinach egg rolls, and he kept saying it, and every time he said it, you could see Larry just start like cringing real hard, trying not to throttle him.
This is like a Greek egg roll, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. He literally said, "Yeah, I guess," which was so good. So what were you saying, Jennifer?
So much so that I wrote in all caps in my notes, "It's a Greek egg roll, Larry."
And then he has the gall, after calling them Greek egg rolls, to like make them wrong,
to fuck it all up.
And then he was like, "I think these are display case bound."
And Larry's like, "It's flag folding 101.
Get it right. Obviously, your parents didn't die in a war. I feel like I'm jumping around so much. We did food.
The carving knife.
The carving. Oh my god! Also, Guy Fieri they trusted him with the power tool,
even though he likes to stick his finger into noisy things.
But it's literally something that's made for meat to shave. He was trusted with it.
In their defense, it seemed like no one really wanted that to happen, though. He was just like, "Can I carve into this?" And everyone was like, "Oh my god, he's already started."
He's making a beeline for the carver. He's plugging it in. Oh fuck! And then he does a terrible, terrible job at it, and they didn't give him a second go.
He gets the tiniest little nugget of meat off of there.
You see these guys like masterfully going from top to bottom, doing these perfectly shaved artisanal meat logs, and Guy Fieri just like hacks into it like way too deep, and then he takes a bite out of it and he starts talking, and he's like, "Oh, it's so flavorful," and oh, it's so good. Like, it took him a while to register how hot it was in his mouth. And it was like a long delay, like nerve pain amounts of delay. Like, he might need to be checked for diabetes. Because you know when, like, they check your reflexes, and that's, like, one of the things about having diabetes is that, like, your reflexes go.
So you're saying Guy Fieri definitely has...
Get your game checked. Diabetes? Were you going to say diabetes and I ruined it for you?
You ruined everything.
Good. You don't deserve that. That was terrible. You should feel ashamed. And then, I put not good with the meat saw. What else was there? There was a wall of Greeks that I thought had some questionable people
Racist
on it.
Images? Yeah. This is different.
So the wall of Greeks has like the big hitters, right? So it's got Hercules, Alexander the Great, Sophocles, great Greeks. Like, all in all, great Greeks. Nobody would say that.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good.
And then it gets a little weird because he then adds Minotaur, Cyclops, and then under that there are honorary famous Greeks, and the one that stood out to me was Michael Dukakis.
What?
Everybody remembers Michael Dukakis, right? Rock us, Dukakis. Right, that was a thing, I think, and it should have been. So that's all I had.
There was also that Fat Willie Nelson with the brown paper bag.
Oh my god, that was just trying to leave. He was trying so hard to leave when Guy Fieri and the Mad Greek were, like, together.
But he was just, like, caught in the shot.
Yeah.
In the middle of them.
Yeah.
And he's, like, rolling up this paper bag.
And the Mad Greek catches him kind of trying to do that, and he was like, just tell them where we are. Like, let them know we're in Baker, California. Best food. And he's like, yeah, it's real good food. And then Guy Fieri's like, it's great food, right? And, yeah, it's super
just let
great
me leave.
Like, he was trying he was rolling that bag up so tight. He wanted to just go. It was so good. I'm not sure that guy does anything else except harass customers. The Mad Greek. Because he was like walking by
He doesn't work there.
He doesn't work there anymore. He said that himself. He just said that he comes in and collects the money and leaves. And then he's walking by the display case for like the treats or whatever, and he says, "Oh, you're lucky that you're getting that price because I need to raise the prices. I'm losing money on those because my landlord raised the rent. I'm the landlord." Like, he blew up his spot so many times. He blew up his own spot.
Insane.
He's an insane person.
But I mean, I envy him, though. I really wish I could start a business and just name it after myself being an asshole, just like Dickhole Davids. And just be like, I don't even fucking work here anymore, but I just show up and harass people. And that's like the gimmick. Like, people are into it. They're like, oh yeah, Dickhole Davids. Like, yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah, he doesn't hug his son, and he also forces him to work there for free.
His son flinches every time he walks by. And he's the chef now, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, because he keeps walking by, and he says, I swear to God, if you let anybody call spanakopita spinach egg rolls, I will fucking murder you. And that's why he was cringing so hard when Guy was like, they're Greek egg rolls. Oh God, will my father hear? Oh no.
Did not have an accent,
He did not sound like an Israeli person. Greeks and Israelis are not. Oh, another thing. Guy Fieri says something about forget about it, and I was like, Guy, that show is about Italians. What are you doing? I know that the guy looks like James Gandolfini, and maybe that was
maybe that was
the illusion. But still, like, a little off-center guy. I don't think I'd vote for him as president. I don't think it would happen. His foreign policies are too bad, too lax. Knows nothing about it.
Glad to know your political opinions for Guy Fieri.
Oh, you didn't know that this was, like, under our tags, it's comedy, it's culture, it's also
politics.
Really political.
Hardcore politics.
Well, so it's comedy, TV shows, and politics is what we do here. And we're not doing comedy very well. We'll get there. Okay, so Jennifer did the Lord's work, and I said that it would be, like, a pretty good idea to, like, maybe check Yelp and see if there are any Fieri heads out there, like, going to these restaurants once they're featured. And she found some, like, pretty
I have
old
an
ones.
epic
Ooh.
It is
Hype it up.
373 words long by Adam G.
Strap in, boys.
It's a 3-star review about Mac and Ernie's.
Hold on, it's 370.
3 stars.
It's 375, and he didn't feel either way about the restaurant. He gave the
3
most
stars.
middle of the ground out of 5 stars.
So I was gonna wait to the end to judge him, but Adam G has no friends.
Oh, bodied. All right, go ahead.
So, he says, well, I must admit that I was a little concerned to hear that Bert had been left out of the equation. I mean, how the hell was I kept out of the loop? Damn, I grew up with that cylindrical, pill-shaped, yellow-headed, red, bulbous-nosed, dominant, barking out nasally reprimands. Oh my god. To the diminutive suppliant, Ernie, whenever the opportunity presented itself, but I could see the writing on the wall. Ernie has since moved on.
Was Ernie the previous owner?
Bert and Ernie. He's talking about Bert and Ernie. Because the
He's
place
reviewing
is called
Mac and Ernie's.
Mac and Ernie's.
Oh my god.
Cylindrical, pill-shaped, yellow-headed, red bulbous nose. He's insane. Okay.
And he has a thesaurus. He's an insane person with a thesaurus.
I just want to
which
know.
is the worst combination in the world.
He spelled here wrong.
But he said
But then
suppliant
he says, yeah.
and diminutive,
Yeah.
together.
Yep.
Okay, Ernie has since moved on. Was that it?
No, there's more. Somewhere between Bandera, Utopia, Elysium, and Purgatory lies the expanded shack that was made famous by Guy Fieri, who actually shows up to all his conquests, unlike Rachel Ray, who usually sends her minions to compile a video, which she can then narrate to create that fresh from the oven scent.
Yo, fuck Rachel Ray. We're starting a Food Network beat,
Tear her
son.
down.
Bring them hands, Rachel.
EVOO my dick, lady.
Stop it. All right.
And then he says, oh, what a tangled web we weave. Anywho, this joint serves up a limited menu on Sundays, which meant a limited taste of what they are capable of. Today was nothing spectacular. Just a cheeseburger and something they called chicken naline, which is apparently Tarpley speak for we need to use up the rest of the hollandaise.
Oh.
Burn!
That's
Push that
that's
hollandaise.
pretty good, man.
To their credit, the cheeseburger was perfectly cooked, medium, and flavorful and juicy atop an artisan-type bun and thickly cut veggies. That reminded me of GBG. I don't know what the fuck that is.
GBG.
I don't know. This man is weird. Chicken naline was dry and served with pedestrian-style green beans.
Oh, fuck. Pedestrian green beans, son. Get that shit out of here.
Where the fuck do you get pedestrian-style green beans? Like street green beans? Is that?
Them street greens. Only fucks with them street greens.
From the local green bean shack.
That's funny.
The brunch's leftover hollandaise and Canadian bacon, but with very flavorful twice-baked potato. By the way, twice-baked potatoes should have gone out with pagers. Welcome to the 90s, Mr. Banks.
Whoa.
The best thing about this trip was my new Maxima out on the open road and checking out a much greener hill country.
Full disclosure, this food review was sponsored by Nissan.
Right?
Full disclosure.
That's why, I'm sorry, that's why I had to read the whole thing, because every part of it is weird.
I took my big pony out on the road, what I call my Maxi.
And then...
When Nissan Maxima, my iron horse. Just me in the open road and my Nissan.
My new Maxima!
Oh, God. He owns a new Maximo. This dude's fucking rolling in it.
The only thing that would make it better is if he, like, attached, like, photos to this Yelp review that were just of his car.
Like high school, like, laying on the hood with your chin propped up by your elbows and hands.
Just captioned, like, pedestrian food, but check this out.
Well, that's why he hates pedestrians, right? Because he's driving everywhere. He wants them road green beans. Okay, continue.
Road
Sorry.
green beans?
Also, before you continue,
what's-
the second review or the second definition No spoilers. The second definition on Urban Dictionary for GBG is real gang of queers in prison on the PC yard. Gay boy gangsters.
So, the thickly cut veggies reminded him of gay boy gangsters. It all makes sense now.
Yeah, delicious and al dente.
Alright. So then
That's
he
pretty
makes...
pedestrian, yeah.
Yes, shallow and pedantic. Alright.
He makes a commentary about the drought, saying...
Fuck, and environmentally conscious? This thing has it all.
Checking out a much greener hill country than last year's drought-barren display presented. I will give these guys and their 70s retro green and yellow diner another chance simply because I hope to try their chicken fried lamb chops, among other things. I promise to all of my Yelp friends...
Oh, not real friends.
...that I shall never use the phrase...
Yelp friends?
G-friend in any of my reviews for a myriad of reasons, which include, but are not exclusive to, that I am married and that I am not a douchebag. The latter, of course, being purely subjective.
Who the fuck said G-friend that he felt like he needed to throw out those...
I don't fucking know, man!
Ooh, maybe that was Rachel Ray. Does Rachel Ray say G-friend a lot?
Does she?
Maybe that's why...
G.
Adam G bringing the fucking heat.
Friend.
I don't think you can follow that up, but I'm excited.
That was the best one.
That was the
I'll
best
be
one.
honest.
He got very, self-aware at the end. He was like, I'm not a douchebag, but, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, some people probably think I'm a douchebag. Oh. I have reasons for more reviews after that review.
Okay.
So we were talking about how Naylene has the ranch with the goats.
Uh-huh.
This is a 3-star review by Paul W.
Thank you, Paul.
We were disappointed that there were no cabrito burgers on the visit. Coyotes reportedly had gotten off all of the baby goats.
Either Naylene's a liar, or they had the worst year in the world.
I really hope it's,
I hope she's a liar.
Coyotes. No, I want the coyotes. I like the idea that she got... Really, they had too many goats. They grew too large, and, it was
goat hubris.
Coyotes. No, they are cabrito burgers. They have to be baby goats.
Oh, because cabrito.
Ito. Yeah.
I think that's might just be, artistic flair. She is from Texas and white, so... She just probably asked somebody what you would call a goat burger, and they were like, cabrito.
Also, we got a 2-star review by Mickey W.
For who?
For Mac and Ernie's.
Okay.
Still. We're still on Mac and Ernie's.
Okay.
My daughter cut her finger when trying to cut pork chops with plastic utensils.
Yo, that's on you. That's straight up on you. If your daughter's dumb enough to cut herself, which you're like, I'm not a scientist or whatever. I've never claimed to be a scientist, but you're comprised of meat. If you cut yourself, you probably struck meat.
That's the entire review? That's
Was that it?
What?
Did she just say that,
No,
2 stars?
no. Okay. That was just a part of it that I thought was the funniest.
Jesus Christ.
Great, though. 2 stars. My daughter cut her hand on the fucking plastic utensil.
And this is all your fault, Mac and Ernie. I'm still trying to wrap my head around about him doing Bert and Ernie. A Bert and Ernie joke.
That's
to
the fucking weirdest
that was
thing
the
I've
icebreaker.
ever seen.
I mean, it does bring up a good point. Who are Mac and Ernie?
Yeah, because the lady's named Naylene.
Yeah.
Well, Brent wasn't in Brent's either.
Who inherits a fucking roadside eatery, though? You just kind of make those, I would assume. I don't think you would, get a family or buy up, a family shack where you put an oven.
Literally in a parking lot, and you're like, well, I guess this is Mac and Ernie's, and I can't change that.
The sign's already made, so, fuck me, I guess. Maybe the grocery store? The general store is called Mac and Ernie's? Yeah, it's behind the shack is behind the general store.
I don't know, man.
We'll never know. We don't do research. This is the research that we do. And that's it. Like, there will be no more... I can guarantee that to my listeners, is that I will never do an ounce of research aside from making somebody else on the show do Yelp reviews.
And occasionally Googling slang, but like just reading like the first result and assuming that's second. What it means.
Yeah, Gay Boy Gangsters. Yeah, the chicken alien reminded me of Gay Boy Gangsters.
I just figured it out. Adam was in prison. That's why he only has Yelp friends.
Oh, and that's why he was like super stoked about his Nissan Maxima.
Yes, on the open road.
I'm so unsure about why this guy is hypercritical of everything, even to the hillside of Texas, and not hypercritical of his Nissan Maxima, a car that I assume you could find some flaws with.
We gotta find his Yelp review for the Nissan Maxima.
Oh my god, Jennifer. Great idea. We need to see if he's reviewed more of these diners, drive-ins, and dives places.
No.
Like, we need to check for
Alex,
his name.
if you're listening, please reach out to us.
Alex,
we would love to hear from
his
you.
His name is Adam.
Adam, sorry. Alex, we love you too. But Adam G?
Adam G.
We fucked up his name, and now he's going to give this podcast like 2 stars.
3 stars.
3 stars. They like me in the end. So I'm cool with it. Also, Matt owes a Nissan. I own a Nissan. So we're like Nissan buddies.
Aw.
Yeah. Any other reviews that...
Well, if we move on to Brint's, I just wanted to note, according to Esquire McNair's 5-star review...
Oh, we got a McNair lawyer.
The Tuesday special was Tim's Tummy Tackler.
Ooh, oh, nope, thank you. Nope. No, thank you.
And then there was a very sad review from Heather Woods.
Was that it? Was that it? You were just like, tummy tackler. That's a funny thing.
Tim's tummy tackler. Yeah, I mean, the rest of it was just like, it was delicious. He cooks eggs. We already know that.
All right. Next.
Okay. So Heather Woods says, this place is very nasty. Very unprofessional service, and the cook is cooking without gloves on. Eggs were not cooked well at all. So that makes me kind of sad. But apparently they went under new management 3 years ago.
Okay. So because Jesse was wearing his gloves the entire time. I mean, he wasn't doing sanitary things with them. He was like touching the ends of his elbows. He was like crossing his arms and a whole bunch of shit. I think he even touched his face with the gloves.
Ooh, wonderful egg face.
Wonderful. Sorry. Jennifer has been doing wonderful, and it reminds me of the Pokemon Snap Professor Oak sample. You ever play?
No.
You never played Pokemon Snap?
Absolutely not.
It's only got like 3 sounds in the game, and one of them is Professor Oak just going, wonderful.
What exactly is that game? How do you just take pictures?
Yeah,
take pictures.
You're a Pokemon voyeur. And you're trying to catch these Pokemon doing some sick stunts. And so you're on this train track, and you throw apples at Pikachu to make him look at you, and then you take pictures of... Yeah, Poke apples.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I can't get around them eating regular apples. They've got to have Poke in front of it. Mm-hmm. And then you lure him onto a surfboard, and then he surfs, and then it's a great pose, and then Professor Oak tells you that your pictures are wonderful. So, it's a pretty good game.
Good review.
3 stars. 3 out of 5 stars. Some Bert and Ernie joke, and I love my Nissan.
Go talk to Adam G.
Yeah. All right. Next one.
Well, still on Brint's, Ryan Z gave a 5-star review, but he had a complaint.
5 stars and a complaint. This place must
My only complaint was that the temperature inside the restaurant and bathrooms could have been cooler.
Fuck you.
I just imagine him sitting in a warm bathroom trying to take a shit in Brint's Diner.
He did mention that the bathrooms
were
also hot.
And bathroom.
So this guy was like, fuck, this restaurant is so hot, I don't want to go outside because it's Wichita, Kansas. It will remind me that I live in Wichita, Kansas. I'm going to see if the bathroom's a little cooler. Nope, still fucking hot in the bathroom. Fuck this place.
I think he just ended up just like drenched in sweat just after eating Tim's tummy tumbler or whatever the hell. Just sobbing and being like, "Oh, it was so good, but it's just so warm."
I need to go to the bathroom to see if I can mop up a little bit of the sweat. Oh God, it's even hotter in here. There's not even an oven in here. Why is it so hot?
So rest in peace, Ryan Z.
Rest in peace, Ryan Z. But thank you for pumping out that Yelp review real quick before you die of exhaustion.
And then I have just a couple for the Mad Greek.
I'm surprised about this because I would think that, like, with the guy hassling everyone that comes in and Larry having a hair trigger aggression problem.
He was calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah, because he was like straight out of the support group. Just taught him about breathing exercises.
Alright, so David Holda gives a 4-star review.
Holda!
He says it's a fun tourist trap.
Ah.
And then, and then later in the review says, the best thing, the Country Store 76 gas station across the street.
Wait, that's the
so
best thing?
The best thing.
The best thing about the restaurant isn't the restaurant, it's the corner store that is across the street from it.
Yep.
Cool, David. Way to go. Thank you, David H. Anything else, or...
Yeah, somebody took a picture.
Okay, we'll add it to the show notes if we have show notes.
No, I can read what it said.
Okay, I feel like this might turn out into, like, somebody reading me a Garfield comic.
So this is from Ian Hillen. It's a 4-star review.
Uh-huh.
And it was just a framed picture of, like, text that said, law was invented for the poor and the weak to submit to the rich and powerful at a minimum effort and expense. Quote by J.J. Rousseau.
Holy fuck.
Mad Greek's into some deep shit.
Mad Greek. Fucking dropping those mind bombs in his restaurant. Do you think he read it? Or did it just, like, look pretty?
I think he just buys shit.
Yeah.
He has a problem.
Didn't you say that he wanted more walls?
Yes.
He said that he needed more walls because he has a bunch of shit.
He did. He said he wanted more walls.
Oh God. So, I think that wraps it up. We kind of went a little long, but I think I have some editing out to do because
Yeah.
I got into some real racist tirades.
Oh my God.
I did.
Did you really?
Yeah, there were some things about the Zionistic culture.
I'm just used to it.
Yeah. I had this whole thing about lizard people and NWO. Fucking Alex Jones shit. Buy my vitamins. My vitamins will keep you away from the mind reading. This has been episode 1 of
Don't fuck it up.
3 years of Just Guy Things, because 3 years will be how much it takes for us to go through seasons 1 through 14 if we do a weekly episode without any breaks. So this is probably a dumb idea, but
This is definitely a dumb idea.
this is a pretty dumb idea. Follow us on Twitter. I've got a Twitter that we have now. It's I hedged my bets because we had some real fire names for this show, and one of them that I became really strongly attached to was Fieri Tales. So if you want to follow us and see some dank Fieri memes,
Ooh, we gotta get the pictures
yeah,
from those fire Yelp reviews.
yeah, we'll try to find Adam G
Yes.
on Twitter, and hopefully we'll follow him because he seems like a real cool guy. So at Fieri Tales, and thank you for listening. And we need to have like an exit tagline.
Well, there was one review that didn't make the cut.
Yeah.